I think there could be something that could very well be considered exciting news when it comes to Jasmy. And what is that? Not too long ago, Kraken, they made a post on X, and the post on X was posted on July 7th, and it was explaining this week's listings. Now, keep in mind, they do mention, for instance, something like H bar, which allegedly Thursday 10, they say that, but then they also say at the bottom of the post, right, plus a few surprises along the way, maybe. Now, we have to take a look at, usually when Kraken has these type of, posts on X, they have this like kind of crossword puzzle, and I do see Jasmy there. Not to mention, the CFO of Jasmy kind of responded to this in a sense, and it said, "Let's go Jasmy." Now, what could that be when it comes to Jasmy in regards to Kraken, which in my opinion arguably is one of the most popular exchanges out there? I mean, I'm very excited when it comes to this because does the CFO of Jasmy know something? Probably, I'm assuming. I mean, he is the CFO of Jasmy. Not to mention, maybe something when it comes to Kraken. Man, this is something, again, that I'm very looking forward to because some people may think, oh, take a look at the price of Jasmy as of right now. It's not doing the best, and I agree with that. Major pullback ever since it had a pretty good run. I'm totally aware of that. But then some people may be thinking, oh, that means that if there's an exchange listing, maybe the price should do this or do that. Well, here's the thing. In a condition, or should I say in a moment in time when altcoins are not doing good, or let's say when a project isn't doing good, even if it's, let's say, gets listed in some pretty good exchanges, that's not necessarily going to kind of showcase it because, again, if the markets aren't doing the best, if the project isn't doing the best in terms of price, then it's not necessarily going to kind of represent that, again, in terms of the price charts, even if there are some good exchange listings, because a lot of that type of stuff is dependent on, again, the market and whatnot, and kind of like the just overall sentiment. So I think this is kind of like laying down the groundwork, kind of laying down the foundation for, let's say, a moment in time in which we do see the markets do recover. So I can't, say that, again, this is the greatest thing of all time, but then I'm still very excited nonetheless. Now, usually, when I talk about Jasmy at $1, some people want to know other scenarios, and some people out there want to know 25 cents, so I'm going to talk about that. Even though nothing I say is financial advice, let's say we assume Jasmy were to maybe go to the price of 25 cents. Considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point's around $12.5 billion, that's around a 19x from here. Now keep in mind, right, the way I take a look at it was that Jasmy did pretty good not too long ago, kind of not really having a fully fledged type of altcoin season many people would consider, and it still did that. So imagine if we do see a fully fledged type of altcoin season, what would happen to Jasmy then? Keep in mind, 25 cents, again, current circulating supply, considering that market cap at that point would be around $12.5 billion. We've seen Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. I mean, and that was years ago. Back in the peak of the 2021 bull run, around 300 million crypto owners. Now we have over 600 million. Not to mention the hype surrounding kind of the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF. I just kind of feel that if, let's say, we do see, again, a moment in time in which altcoins do have their moment, I think it could, at least to me, have a better vibe than what I saw back in 2021 because I just think the factors look way more bullish as of right now. But it really is just a waiting game and I'm staying patient. At least that's the way to take a look at it. And why would I not? I think Jasmy is one of these premier projects that are focused on decentralizing data storage. The data storage market, by the way, even though it may not seem that exciting to some people, it is predicted to reach nearly $800 billion by 2030, according to Fortune Business Insights. So I don't think it's a bad market. I mean, if let's say it ever does reach that, because that is a projection, that could very well be bigger than a lot of countries' GDP. And also, not to mention, when I take a look at Jasmy, something that I think could be pretty good for its future is something called Junction. Now, Junction is an incubation project under Jasmy. It's a layer 2 for decentralized AI, and it's allowing users to share their GPU, graphic processing unit, resources for rendering, and AI tasks. So I think this is pretty interesting. Again, having an aspect of AI, the AI market is predicted to reach nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So overall, when I take a look at Jasmy, I think this is pretty awesome to me. Some people like to say, oh, when it comes to Junction, it still has a lot to prove because we really need to see it more. And I agree with that. I mean, really, when it comes to Junction, there's so many unanswered questions. who knows what it's really ever going to be in the future. I kind of want to see it become like fully fifth gear type of 100% before I can kind of evaluate it. But in the meantime, I do like this when it comes to Jasmy because it kind of showcases that Jasmy is this project that, yeah, sure, kind of already has that reputation from the past and already kind of known as this, project that is pretty good in terms of the community, good exchange of these things. But then seeing it kind of want to improve, seeing kind of how the CFO is still enthusiastic about the project, and also seeing how they're not kind of like avoiding updates and not really caring. Seeing all this type of stuff, it really does get me excited. And again, now there's a pullback. I'm totally aware of that. But if, let's say, there is a recovery, the exact moment in time, I would not be able to know that. So the only thing I can do is stay patient because in a moment in time, let's say it does do that, I want to be prepared in theory, which is why I don't want to give up, but I'm still staying patient. But again, only time will tell. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.